a lot of fighters, this is their life, so this is a payday for them. And if you're making big money or good money, you know, you want to get that payday because a lot of us fighters, we don't work 9 to 5, so we don't want to work 9 to 5 either. It's important to get in there even when you have those injuries. Fuck it, go for broke.
The AllStar app, the #1 app in the business. UFC, Bellator, One Championship, PFL, and more. Get the app right now. Link in description. February 4th, man, you're back in action. You're taking on Jornel Lugo. This fight, it was originally set for November. Why did you end up getting pulled from that event?
Some pre-existing medicals that some medical injuries that the doctor just didn't clear me for, unfortunately, and we got a new doctor. I mean, I had 5 fights since that injury, so it should have been something that wasn't a big deal. But unfortunately, the doctor made it a big deal. So, um, things happened, and God had a plan. I was supposed to go to Paris after that, but then in Paris there was like some terrorist attack or something like that, and some rioting. So God has a plan, and He saved me from that fight. Who you never know what would have happened if I was in Paris. Maybe I wouldn't be here today. So now we're here, February 4th. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday we're gonna get it in. I can't wait.
Definitely. You mentioned you've had that injury for 5 fights. That's insane, dude. How you just carried through.
MMA fighters are really resilient and tough, and I'm sure a lot of fighters have injuries, pre-existing injuries that they fight with. I mean, Michael Bisping fought with one eye. People didn't know that for a long time. Asunciao, he's gone in the ring, in the cage with sprained foot, sprained tendons. You know what I mean? A lot of fighters have fought through injuries, and it's just something that comes with the sport.
Yeah, I've heard fighters that were warming up in the back and broke their toe or their foot
Yeah,
warming
yeah,
up. And then
yeah.
it's hard to pull out at that moment, right? It's like,
Right. It's like I gotta get the, and then also too the payday. I mean, a lot of fighters, this is their life, so this is a payday for them. And if you're making big money or good money, you know you want to get that payday because a lot of us fighters, we don't work 9 to 5s, and we don't want to work 9 to 5s either. So it's important to get in there even when you have those injuries. Fuck it, go for broke.
yeah, 9 to 5s suck.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I quit every single 9 to 5, just knowing that chasing this, and I'm blessed to be here now. God really looked out for me because everywhere I've gone, I've always been like, okay, I quit. 2 weeks at Walmart, okay, I quit. Anywhere, so it happens.
Well, the sacrifice, man, is paid off. You're 6-0. You're unblemished in your career. Which fight do you think was your finest performance so far?
This one, and it hasn't even happened yet. But I truly believe like my finest performance will be this fight. We have sharpened a lot of the tools. We have the drawing board. It's crystal clear. The vision's crystal clear. So this is just the beginning. This is not even. I mean, it's been the beginning, and even once I get the belt, that's just the beginning. But this is a start of something great. So I can't wait.
Definitely levels. There's levels to this, right?
Facts, big facts, man.
When you look back at all the circumstances surrounding every fight, which one do you think you've probably overcome the most adversity?
Ooh, that's a good question. Ami and pro, or just pro? Oh well, because I would say Ami. I mean, Ami was my first title fight ever. It was I was going for 4-0 or 5-0. I want to say 5-0, and I got dropped. Those are only 3-minute rounds, and I got dropped 4 times in that fight. That was it was so tough because I was every time I got hit and I got them, your brain just rattles. Got dropped, and then he almost got me in a choke. Got out the choke, and he had the choke in pretty deep. And you could go watch that fight on YouTube too. Uh, versus Chris Chris Elisaris, my first tough enough fight. But yeah, dropped 4 times and yeah, came back second round TKO. So that was the most adversity I've ever faced in a fight so far.
What is it like defending a choke? Because people can't even defend chokes when their brain is normal, but when you're rocked and you're defending, is it just like
Yeah,
you go on like what do you call it?
survival.
Cruise control.
Yeah, you cruise control, survival. Your body takes over, and it's that fight or flight. And I like to. I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna fight until I can't fight no more. So, and also too, I think the adrenaline. You got people watching you. You got your family. You got his family. You want people to know that like you got the promotion. Like I'm a winner. I'm a champion. So I'm not. It's not gonna be an easy task. You're gonna really have to put me out if you want to take me out. But with the rate I'm going, we'll see with this fight. But yeah, I feel like this is one of those fights I'm gonna have the most nerves. I've never had nerves before a fight, and that's the god honest truth. I've never been like, oh man, shoot, I'm gonna fight. But this is one of those fights where I'm like, okay, here we go. This is gonna be something. You never know what's gonna happen. It's still a fight. At the end of the day, I got a lot of people coming, and I'm sure he has some people coming, and the crowd's gonna be crazy, and it's in LA, so yeah, this one I got a lot riding on this fight, but I can't wait because it's diamond. Pressure makes diamonds. So pressure's on.
Lugo, man, what do you think of him and the style that he possesses?
I think I don't really think honestly much of Lugo. I think he's a scrappy fighter. He's a good fighter. That's really how far it goes. Nothing bad to say about the guy. You know, hats off to him. I know he's a God fearing man, just as myself. So he has that going for himself. Other than that, nothing too much to say about his skills or his talent level. I think he'll be good. I think he'll be good, but I'll be great.
His last fight, he lost for the first time against Danny Sabatello. What did you think of that fight?
Mm, I think Sabatello did an extremely wonderful job at exploiting his weakness. Don't see Sabat. I didn't see Sabatello making it to the Grand Prix to the finals, and it made me understand that there's two things with those guys. They're not finishers. And that's one thing I feel like also separates myself is I'm a finisher. Even though my last fight, I there's a lot of mistakes I made in my last fight, as in camp, as in discipline, focus, all that the whole nine. But as we see with the fights that were on focus and the fights where my camps are not even good, but I'm actually attentive and there for my whole camps. You see finishes, so I think that's the difference between me and Lugo. Is he's not a finisher, and we know where his weaknesses are. And, you know, I got AJ. I'm training with AJ McKee and Joey Davis. Joey Davis is 133-0
Yeah.
in Division One wrestling. So I mean, you can just imagine the type of training and the type of work I'm getting. And then that also you got to give the man his due is Antonio McKee.
Yeah.
He's nothing to play with either. Even at 52, 53 years old, the man still got it. So yeah, it's we know where to hit him, and we know where he's weak at. So I can't wait.
Yeah, you just touched on your last fight. I mean, you're undefeated, and up to that point, every fight has been pretty dominant, either
Yeah,
with a finish or a unanimous decision. This one, you came closest to defeat, right? Without actually like losing, like getting
yeah.
finished, right? It was a split decision. The takeaways you mentioned, like mistakes in camp and things like that. Could you give us a little insight into like what happened?
I would say women got in the way at that time, of course.
Mhm.
Uh, but being undisciplined, being unfocused, starting to believe the hype, right? I think that's the biggest downfall in any fighter. For any fighter, you start to believe your own hype. You start to believe what others tell you. You forget how hard you work to get there and how much harder you have to push yourself. Because I feel like maybe a lot of fighters, maybe they are, maybe they aren't. But for me, I'm my biggest critic. I'm very hard on myself, and I and ultimately it's because I want the best, and I want the best for myself, and I want the best out of my opponent, and you can tell Coates trained for that fight. He had fought like 2 or 3. I think he fought a month prior, in May, and we fought in July, so maybe 2 months prior, but he trained for that fight. He trained for that fight, and you can tell, he came to fight, and I didn't train. I trained 2 weeks. Like, I had 2 solid weeks of camp, and that's minus the week that you're cutting weight and actually trying to get on weight. There's no discipline and focus, but God pulled me through, and honestly, it was a blessing because ultimately, yeah, like you said, it was the closest I've gotten to defeat. And in my head, I was like, this could be it. Like, this could be, okay, all the hard work you put in, all the hype that you told yourself, being undefeated, blah blah, blah, it's gone now. So now you're from square one, and now you have to fight back and get back to where you were. And but I've been taking everything seriously, and I can't wait to really showcase, my discipline and focus.
How do you want to perform, man? There's a lot on the line. It seems like whoever wins this is going to get a crack at a top 10 guy, as well as you're fighting in front of the home crowd. And, there's, you got the undefeated record. There's a lot of
Yeah,
stuff going on.
yeah. I ultimately I just want to perform to my God given ability. God has gifted me an ability and a mind for the art of fighting, for the art of mixed martial arts specifically, and I just want to perform to the highest I can, uh, and give Him all the glory and the praise. I mean, I think, yeah, obviously, I say, oh yeah, I worked hard, right? I did work hard, but ultimately, I wouldn't be able to work hard if it wasn't through God. So God's working through me, and I just want to go out there and put on a performance of.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just want to perform to my God given ability, and go put on a performance for the fans. I know a lot. I got a lot of fans coming, and I just want to show everyone, the work I put in, because it's pretty mundane life being a fighter. You go to the gym, you wake up, go to the gym, you go to sleep, wake up, go to the gym, you go eat, I mean, eat between then, but yeah, go to the gym. You're always in the gym. And one thing I do love is being in the gym. It's very fun. So, but living also that naturalist lifestyle of eating right and staying healthy, it's starting to come together to where it's the hard work is when you stop working hard. So you take a day off here, take a day off there, you take a month off here, which I was doing last year. That's when it was like, I have to get back into shape. I have to do all this. But I've been working hard since September, and it's really like the work is easy. The work is easy. So now I just have to show everyone, the fans, Bellator, you know, my teammates that the work is easy when you keep working.
There you go, man. February 4th, Bellator 290, Inglewood, California. Jaylon, thank you so much, man, for the time. Go in the descriptions, download the AllStar app. All the best in the fight, man. It's going to be an insane one.
Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you having me on, man. God bless you. Anytime we can do this again, we can do this whenever you want. Let me know.